debate, the Honourable Member for Scarborough North.
Hear, hear. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is my pleasure to rise today to speak on the 2017 budget. But before I begin, I want to first extend my best wishes to all those celebrating Asian Heritage Month. Every year, the month of May is a special time to acknowledge the long and rich history of Canadians of Asian descent and their contributions to our great country. It's also a time to celebrate the beauty and wisdom of various Asian cultures. This month, I encourage everyone to visit the Chinese Cultural Centre of Greater Toronto, located in my riding of Scarborough North, to explore their distinguished art collections and exhibits. Mr. Speaker, when our government was elected in 2015, we promised Canadians real change, to turn our economy around and to get it growing again, recognizing that a strong economy is built on a strong middle class. When Canada's unemployment rate is now dropping through thousands of new jobs created since our government took office, we are delivering on our promise to Canadians. This year's budget continues to do just that. Through investments that strengthen the middle class, we will grow our economy over the long term and build on real change we have seen over the past year and a half. Mr. Speaker, I'm honored and humbled to represent the people of the multicultural riding of Scarborough North. During the last election, I too promised real change to my constituents, to provide them with hope and opportunities for a better future. I'm proud to say that this budget continues to deliver on that promise. When I meet with residents and speak to them about the issues that affect them the most, public transit is an issue that almost always comes up. Public transit is the lifeblood of a thriving city. Whether it is commuting back home to Scarborough North after a long day of work in downtown Toronto, or getting to class on time at the University of Toronto's Scarborough campus, fast, efficient, and reliable public transit is essential. And that is why this budget is so important, because it provides an investment of $20.1 billion for public transit projects over the next 11 years. This is real change that will make a difference in the lives of people in Scarborough North and indeed across our country. Mr. Speaker, I now turn to another issue that is dear and dear to our hearts, and that is affordable housing. Last August, I had the honor to participate in Habitat for Humanity's ribbon-cutting ceremony for its historic home build at 140 Pinery Trail. This initiative will construct a record-breaking 50 townhouse units in my riding of Scarborough North. Upon completion, 50 families currently living in unsafe, unhealthy, and overcrowded housing will each have a new and affordable home. This project speaks to the importance of our government's commitment to invest $11.2 billion over the next 11 years to support affordable housing, including the construction of new units. This budget does the right thing by ensuring that Canadians have access to safe, adequate, and affordable places to live. Scarborough North is home to a number of housing cooperatives, and following the release of this budget, I spoke to a number of representatives of these co-ops. I was pleased to share that this budget will invest $5 billion in a national housing fund, one that will provide lending support to the construction of new rental units, as well as give much-needed funds and operational support to social housing providers. This budget will improve the lives of low-income and vulnerable members of our community who rely on social housing for a roof over their heads. Not only that, this budget will also help improve the lives of new Canadians. Coming to a new country to start a new life is never easy. As a child of immigrant parents, I witnessed firsthand not only the difficulties that new immigrants face, but also just how much the government can do to help new immigrants feel they belong in Canada. We know that many of our new immigrants are highly skilled and highly educated. They want to put their talents to use and to contribute to building our great country. Many times, however, highly skilled and educated immigrants face barriers that limit their employment opportunities once they arrive in Canada. Our government recognizes these barriers as a problem, and with this budget, we are doing something about it. This budget proposes to allocate $27.5 million over 5 years starting this year and $5.5 million per year thereafter to support our targeted employment strategy for newcomers. This ambitious program will break down the barriers that bright new immigrants face in fully contributing to our economy. Our plan will improve pre-arrival supports for newcomers so that The process to recognize their foreign credentials can begin before they arrive in Canada. We will also put in place targeted measures to test innovative approaches to help skilled newcomers gain Canadian work experience in their profession. One of the main reasons why people choose to come to Canada is to seek new opportunities, both for themselves and for their families. And that is why this strategy does the right thing by helping new Canadians and their families find appropriate work. When Canadians secure meaningful employment, it grows our economy, which is why this budget is also focused on supporting innovation. I'm proud that my riding of Scarborough North is home to many thriving businesses, including Canada Goose, which recently celebrated a strong IPO last March. While industries like textiles and manufacturing will continue to play an important role, the global economy, however, is changing. To address the changing nature of our global economic realities and to ensure that it continues to thrive for our children and grandchildren, this budget introduces an ambitious innovation and skills plan. This plan includes $2.7 billion over 6 years for unemployed and underemployed Canadians to receive training and employment supports, an investment that positions Canada as a leader in the changing global economy. But that's not all, Mr. Speaker. This budget will do even more to help our seniors and give them the respect they deserve. I know how important this is for my riding of Scarborough North, which is home to many senior homes, like the Yi Hong Centre for Geriatric Care, a provider of exceptional care to many seniors in the Greater Toronto Area. In addition to recognizing the invaluable services that facilities like Yi Hong provides, our government is recognizing that there are many Canadians who prefer to receive care in a home setting. Mr. Speaker, our government is committed to giving patients the care they need in a setting that they choose. This budget will invest $6 billion over the next decade for home care, money that will be used to improve access to home, community, and palliative care services. It will also provide more support to informal caregivers, such as family members working hard to balance full-time careers with caregiving for their loved ones. Finally, Mr. Speaker, this budget will rightfully support our veterans and their families. Scarborough North is home to many veterans, as well as the Canadian Legion Branch 614, which recently celebrated their 50th anniversary. Our veterans have dedicated their lives to defend our country, and they deserve our unwavering support and gratitude. Last year's budget invested $5.6 billion over 6 years to give more money to veterans with injuries or illnesses resulting from their military service, and continue to recognize the sacrifices that our veterans have made. This budget will focus on supporting the well-being of our veterans and their families. Our government proposes to help veterans receive the skills, training, and education they need, as well as the mental health supports that they may require. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, this budget is one that all Canadians can be proud of. It will create the conditions for a strong and innovative economy that provides more opportunities, more than ever before, for the middle class and those working hard to join it. Through smart investments and a profound commitment to fairness, our government is proposing a budget that ensures our best days are on the road ahead. Thank you.
Questions and comments? The Honourable Member.